Each of the robots was specialized in something that they do. One was a translator, one was an electronics worker, one was a communications person. We have the ability to do that right now, and right now, more than any other time. The crazy part is,
real estate touches every one of our lives, yet it is the last major industry to undergo a much-needed digital transformation. That's why the brightest minds, backed by the biggest investors, are on this mythical quest to build one app to rule them all. I'm Sharran Srivatsa, and he is Pritesh Damani, and we're breaking down the quest for real estate's holy grail. Welcome to the Super App Podcast.
I will never forget this day. It was roughly Christmas of 2011, and I was helping this agent help their clients buy a $6.5 million home in Southern California. The negotiations were going back and forth, and we had gotten in and we were helping the client buy this home, and we were representing them on the buy side. And the crazy part is that the clients, while they wanted the home, they also had to travel for Christmas holidays, and they were going to Europe. And so while we were negotiating and getting this deal done, we had agreed upon all the terms after long, arduous negotiations, and we wanted to get this deal done before the end of the year. And so finally, the deal came down to getting all the terms done and getting everything signed, which was all agreed upon. So the agents prepared the documents and called the client. And the client said, "Hey, I am on a plane for the next 12 hours. I know we have a tight deadline. I have Wi-Fi. Could you just DocuSign this to me?" Now, remember, DocuSign was invented in 2003, right? 2003, 2004. This is 2011. It was pervasive and accepted already as standard for electronic signatures. And this agent said something that blew my mind. This agent said, no, why don't you land and I will fax you or email you the documents. You can print it off in your hotel's business center in Paris, and you can sign it and scan it and send it back to me. That actually blew the deal apart, because this agent, old school, was unwilling to send a DocuSign to a client, even though the client asked for it, even though it was probably the right time to do it. And when I asked the agent why, he said something amazing to me. He said, when I sign a document with wet ink, it shows my bond, it shows my respect, it shows my commitment to that document and that relationship. Now, while I sincerely respect that, there's a big problem in this. The agent did not do what the client wanted, and the client lost the deal. That's how crazy this was. The real estate agent was willing to do nothing around their own sensitivities, and they did not want to change. And this is really crazy, because if you think about it, that is what's going to happen right now in the next, not 10 years, in the next 2 to 3 years, to several folks in the real estate industry who are unwilling to change. If you think about it, the iPhone was actually invented in around 2007. In the last 14 years, the number of innovation and the number of features, the amount of development that we've had is mind-blowing. For most of us, the phone that we carry is actually more powerful than the computers that we have, especially from the capability of doing video, doing audio. One of my photographers and videographers say to me that he goes, "Sharran, a lot of times when I go do shoots, I just need a good mic on my iPhone. I could shoot way better video than lugging around a huge camera." Now, not for everybody, but it still works, right? That's how amazing this is. Now, the reason I'm sharing this iPhone story is it reminds me of this thing that we call Moore's Law. And if you've not heard of Moore's Law, it was originally related to how more transistors and chips will affect the speed of innovation and reduce the price. But in essence, here's what this means. In very, very simple terms, Moore's Law means that the power and speed of computers and devices should increase, should double every 2 years, while their cost decreases over time. And that's the interesting part, right? Think about it. It should double or increase every 2 years, while the cost actually reduces. And the crazy part is that we don't realize that this is happening to us right now. I'll give you an example. Many of you know the royalty-based picture sites, like you can go download images, etc., called iStock Photo or similar things like that. And there's this 10-15 year revolution of iStock photo where people put up their images and it'll be branded iStock photo. Even if you search Google right now, those photos show up. And I actually know of people, I know of friends who have used these unlicensed or not fully licensed images on their websites and have had attorneys contact them and had to settle. Well, what's happening today? And today, you can literally, if you wanted a picture of a lighthouse with a unicorn in a sunset, you could literally tell various pieces of AI to just draw that for you, and you will get exactly the picture that you want. So these business models are now. I'm not saying these iStock photo sites are going to go away. I'm saying you can get a much better picture that is completely royalty free for now, which is absolutely amazing. Virtual staging, for those of you in the real estate business, virtual staging was poo-pooed 10 plus years ago when someone would actually say, oh, you can't change the color of the lawn, which you still can't do without actually modifying it and disclosing it. But all we're saying is if you had an empty house and the sellers didn't, or the clients didn't want to play for staging, now what would you do? You would get virtual staging, and the technology was not that good, and people would walk in and be like, hey, why is this random furniture in this random house and the wall is this way, and that's not what it looks like. But today, virtual staging is very common. And when a property has been staged, you actually see a footnote on the picture itself or in the footnotes of the listing saying, hey, this home was staged virtually, and we can actually buy and replicate this exact furniture and aesthetics for you. The person who what we didn't accept just not even 3-4 years ago now is commonplace. I remember pre-pandemic, the QR codes never took off. People just said that they were ugly, and in fact, I said they were ugly, and I would never utilize them on anything. But after the pandemic, the QR code just became the simplest way in which you didn't need a QR code specific app reader. You could just do it with your phone. We also thought that Zapier was a cool tool in automation. Like it still is. I mean, we run just on my personal stuff alone, I run 8,000 to 9,000 zaps a week, which is wild. But now Zapier, if you have not noticed it, by the time of this recording, has released Zapier Connect AI, where you can literally plug in any spreadsheet, any data source, any database, any Word document, any Google file, and you can just ask questions and say, based on this, tell me which NFL player I should pick in the fantasy football draft. You could take mountains of data, and you don't have to do any analysis. You can let all the AI do everything for you. AI has gotten to a point where you can have a bot that can write code. Like, think about this. A lot of times people thought that you need an engineer to actually think and design and write the code. No, you just need to be able to clearly define what you want. And with the prompts and with the engineering, you can actually have a bot write you the code. Because the building blocks of these things are now commoditized. That does not mean that any of this is going to take our jobs away. What it means is that our clarity of thought and our clarity of thinking is so much more important. And in fact, not only is our clarity of thought and clarity of thinking important, we have to learn to utilize these things, because unless you learn the prompts, unless you learn to talk to a piece of AI, unless you learn to ask a specific question in the way a machine would understand it, you can't get what you want. I'm going to wager a few things. I'm going to wager that every single real estate agent will have an AI assistant in the next 2 years. And I'm not saying 20, in the next two years, every single real estate agent will have an AI assistant. In fact, I have one right now. I have an AI assistant right now, and I'll tell you exactly all about it in just a second. But my question is, if you are listening to this and you have a team member, why would you not tell them, hey, what is one piece of AI that you are using right now? Not for any other reason, but to experiment, to dabble, to understand it. Why are we not talking about the AI tools that are coming out to see if it will even help you, to see if it's even possible? There is AI tools for podcasts where you could raw record your podcast, upload it to the Adobe AI tool, and it automatically cleans it up and makes it sound a studio sounding like podcast. Like the reason why a lot of podcasters wouldn't even start a podcast is because they didn't want to invest in the equipment. Now you can record the audio like this on your phone. You hit one button, put it through a piece of AI. It will clean up all the audio, and you can get exactly what you want. Or you can just give your text-based script to your own avatar, and it would just create a explainer video for you. So if you are a kind of person who is afraid of being on camera, you could have AI read it for you. If you love stuff from someone else, you can actually make them your AI coach. I'll give you a crazy example. My friend, Patrick Daly, amazing entrepreneur, he said he was actually presenting at a conference, and he explained how you can make your own AI coaches and your own AI engines. And he's a productivity nerd. And he said to me, he took all the podcasts and the articles and the emails that I had written on productivity, and he fed it all into a piece of AI, and he created the Sharran AI, the Sharran bot. And he said now he's got the Sharran bot where he can just ask questions to the Sharran bot based on productivity ideas. And it has completely built in all my stuff. Now, the crazy part is I'm not even involved in this. Someone else, my friend, has created a piece of AI, an AI assistant, to help him based on my thinking, my thoughts. Well, I should be able to do the same. If I want to I could go and get Mr. Beast's top 10 interviews. In fact, I did that last night. I got the top 10 interviews that Mr. Beast has done online. And by the way, if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, he's the #1 YouTuber in the world. Top 10 Mr. Beast interviews. I went to YouTube. I just clicked a button. I got the transcripts. I fed it into a piece of AI. And now I have a Mr. Beast bot. And I can configure the Mr. Beast bot to ask questions related to everything YouTube. Now, without ever meeting Mr. Beast, talking to Mr. Beast, or even having him help in any way, I don't need it. Everything that he's done, everything that he's created, I can use the Beast bot, which is absolutely amazing. So the question is, what will happen in the next 2 years will happen faster than you can keep up. Think about that. What will happen in the next 2 years will happen faster than you can keep up, because now is the time to dabble. The sooner you see what's possible, the faster you will understand how you could have 1,000 assistants working for you 24/7 while you take care of your clients and your family. I believe that every single agent will have access to an AI assistant in under 2 years to do what you wanted to do, to think how you wanted to think, to use your own ideas and create the results. That's why we're seeing ideas like the AI agent, not just to give you information, but to actually do things on your behalf. If you ever watched Star Wars, when you had these robots, what were they? Each of the robots were specialized in something that they do. One was a translator, one was an electronics worker, one was a communications person, one would just wash dishes. We have the ability to do that right now, and right now, more than any other time. The crazy part is, you want to see what is possible, and the faster you understand how to have 1,000 assistants working for you will take care of your clients and your family immediately. Every agent will have an AI assistant in the next 2 years, and it's our job to figure out how to do it. It's not only extremely cheap, but it's extremely easy. You get a chance to learn how to build something, and the way you do it is to dabble. You have to dabble right now, because the person who dabbles learns what's possible. The person who dabbles and plays and tinkers learns what can come up in the new world. The person who can dabble can build it faster. The person who can dabble can understand it faster. It is our responsibility right now to be the early adopters, not to wait and say, oh, I'll get that bot when it's ready. I still have people, real estate agents, asking, oh my gosh, should I go get a branded app? Nobody cares about your branded app. Yeah, you mean like that. There's so much ego built into that. I know you think that's the right thing. I know you think that your brokerage offers you a branded app and that makes you feel good about yourself. But everyone is still only going to go to the big companies like the Zillows of the world and the Homes.coms to search their homes. Your branded app is not worth the time. What you want to do, what you want to create, is 1,000 AI assistants that can do the work, AI assistants that can do your job, AI assistants that can actually do all the monotonous things that you do. Because once you get that working, amazing things start to happen. Not only will it get done right, not only will it get fast, it will also get done accurately. I believe that every single agent, real estate agent, will have an AI assistant in the next 2 years. And I want you to be in the front of that learning curve. So here's what you should do. You should go out, find a YouTube video and say, hey, how do I build an AI bot for myself? Watch that video. There's hundreds of them. Watch that video and build yourself a bot. Because when you do it, you're going to be one of the first to ever do this. And as the innovation happens, in under 1 to 2 years, you will realize that you're going to have an army of AI bots that are working for you. And you will be amazed at how much more productive and how much more valuable your time and your energy and your creativity becomes. It's not about the world of AI taking over. It is about you taking over the world of AI. And that's the big switch.
Hey, this is Sharran. If you sell real estate, I have a cool gift for you. I packaged up my 7 best money-making trainings for real estate agents called the Top Agent Power Pack. It's raw and real, and it's 100% free as our gift to you. Just go to topagentpowerpack.com and grab it right now for free. That's topagentpowerpack.com.